I'm Eric.
And I'm Steve.
Magic 2019.
Cards for Commander.
Let's talk about it. Welcome, Planeswalkers, to the Collector Mania YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us for episode number 36 of Let's Talk About It.
M19.
Yeah. As normal, guys, if you like us, give us a like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. If you are subscribed, hit the bell for notifications. And one thing I always forget to put at the beginning, if you've got any content requests, ask us in the comments and we will talk about it in a future episode.
We love to hear your guys' ideas. So,
yes.
Anyway, we're going to jump into the full screen mode here and take a look at some ridiculously cool cards that are coming out in this set.
Yes.
So, of course, we've got our Nicol Bolas background. What do you think about the flavor of this set so far as Nicol Bolas goes?
It's cool. I'm glad to see like that transition that you kind of hear about into the Planeswalker that he is. And
so this set's kind of odd. It's like all over the place. It feels a lot like Origins in a lot of ways.
I agree.
Which is good because Origins was obviously a hit.
Yeah.
But like I can't tell if we're in the past, if we're in the future, or what's going on. I think it's taking place over a multitude of timelines, which is fine with me.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what a core set should be. It doesn't have to necessarily be all cohesive. If you haven't listened to the first part of the story, there's a few YouTubers that do like story episodes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It was ridiculously cool. You find out that Ugin and Nicol Bolas are actually twins.
Ah, okay.
Which is something that a lot of people have suspected for a long time. And it talks a lot about like the beginnings of their birth, you know, like when they fall from the sky, essentially, since dragons are born really weird in this world. I don't know how it works. Essentially, like an egg falls from the sky and there's a dragon. So anyway, it kind of talks about all their creation and blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I'm getting rambly, but it was really cool. I definitely recommend checking it out. I think they are on the second part of the article on the MTG articles, so you have like a longer story now. And that's where they spoiled the Bant Dragon as well, the artwork.
Yeah, sure.
So anyway, with that, let's go ahead and break into the new cards. So first up, we've got kind of a card that I'm not too excited about it. It's okay. Yeah. So 4 colors, 2 white, legendary creature human knight, 3/3. When Lena Selfless Champion enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token for each non-token creature you control, which is pretty good. Sacrifice Lena creatures you control with power less than Lena's power, gain indestructible until end of turn.
Cool story. Sounds like she gives her life up for her comrades or something. Like, there's I forget the name of it, but it's in my Darien deck. Kind of a similar thing, but I think you can sack a soldier or something. I forget the name of it. But
is it the champion chick?
No,
that's not right.
I
know what you're talking about, though. Yeah.
So, and again, this one's off being a human and dealing with soldiers and vice versa. Like, it's interesting. It'll be good in a knight meta that are 2/2s, I guess. But kind of cool.
Yeah, as far as legendaries, I don't see this going anywhere. Unfortunately, like there's just like obviously better white commanders than even this. So anyway, next card. So I lost my mind when I saw this one. I think I like artifacts a lot, and I like blue a lot. So 2 colors and a blue. We've got Psy Master Thopterist, 1/4 legendary creature, human artificer. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying. Then you can pay a colorless and a blue, sacrifice 2 artifacts, draw a card. Not even a tap ability. Like, so good.
They're they should just make these sacrifice like 4 artifacts, because 2 artifacts is like the lowest hurdle to jump in the world now.
Yeah, this is kind of like a weird half of Brea.
And it'll fit right in. There's even a blue enchantment that does this already. When you cast an artifact, you get a Thopter.
There's 2 actually.
There's 2 of them. I see. Okay, so you can just like cast an artifact and say you get a historic thing going. Like, like little dinky artifact synergy combo stuff needed more help, and then along comes Psy.
Well, and then I just think of like Sharding Sphinx too. So I mean, that's essentially like 4 ways that you can now just create Thopters by just playing an artifact. Then all of a sudden you're swarming them with little tiny guys that you buff up with things that like what's the 2-cost enchantment that says all flying creatures get +1/+1?
Is it Favorable Winds?
Yep, that's it. Okay. And then like Chief of the Foundry or whatever. There's so many like good buffs spells. All the Vidalcan guys, you just have an army of 5/5 flyers out of nowhere, just with all these little guys, and you continually get to draw cards too. Like, it's just so good.
And from the flavor, we can move on. It sounds like this guy's from Kaladesh. Like you said, it's like all over the place.
All over the place.
I'm gonna take this one.
Yes.
Gore Claw, Terror of Kal Sisma. 3 and green, legendary bear, 4/3. Creature spells you cast with power 4 or greater, cost 2 less to cast. When Gore Claw attacks each creature you control with power 4 or greater, gets +1/+1 and gains trample till end of turn. Pretty cool. It's interesting. I think a lot of people are kind of split. It's cool we have a legendary bear, but it doesn't really work well. I think there's 2 bears that it can work with. Just kind of a cool green include, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely not tribal. That's not the way I look at it. It's just big green stuff.
Right.
I actually think it's really good. I know that may sound surprising coming from me because I'm not that big of a big green player.
Yeah.
But this is actually pretty cool. It reminds me a lot of Animar, and Animar is always good. So that's something. Does this fit into Animar perfectly? Yeah, it does pretty well. I mean, it makes your Kozilek cost 2 less, essentially, so on and so forth.
And that's what I could think of as like Eldrazi, you know.
But, I mean, would I run this as a commander on its own? Yeah, probably. It's actually pretty cool. Your Soul of the Harvest now costs 4. Your Crater Hoof Behemoth costs 6. So on and so forth. All those creatures just become that much better. Yeah,
and there's even some, like, I was looking at gods like Nylea, Ronus. Like,
Ronus costs 1 at that point,
Yeah,
right?
I think so, because he costs 3. So imagine just getting, like, your god into play, and then he triggers off of her when she goes. I mean, it's nuts. And the fact that she's attacking isn't too big of a... I mean, thank God it didn't say something else, but, like, she just got to attack, and you could just, like, maze her if she's going to die or something, like...
Well, and that brings up another good point about the card, too, is it is an overrun effect on your commander.
Right,
Which isn't very common at all.
No.
I mean, it's only +1/+1, but the trample is what's important.
Right, and they're going to be 5s at minimum. Like, so that'll get through to people. Like, cool card, definitely.
Yeah, I love the flavor. I love... Yeah, like, this is... Well, people are saying that this is supposedly the bear that Sarkin punched and killed.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's 100% true, but
Interesting.
It would make sense with, like, the storyline with Tarkir and... Or not Sarkin, what am I saying? What's his name?
Sirac?
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
I always call him Sarkin, but I know it's not right.
Similar.
Sirac the Hunt Caller or something.
Yeah, there's 2 versions or whatever.
Sorry. They've got one of probably the most disappointing black legendaries to be released in the last couple of years. I am not a big fan of this card. So 1 colorless, 2 black, 3/3 legendary creature, human wizard, death touch. Whenever Ishareth, the Awakener attacks, you may pay X. When you do, return target creature with convert mana cost X from your graveyard to the battlefield with a corpse counter on it. If that creature would leave the battlefield, exile it instead of putting it anywhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, I do not like that. It's an attack trigger. That's the first thing that's a blaring, like, oh god. And then the next thing is you have to pay X for it. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like, if it was like pay 2 or something like that, I think this card would be very fair.
Yeah.
But no, instead we've got this ridiculous cost. I love the artwork. I mean, that
great.
Like vulture, like headdress thing that she's got going on.
Yeah.
Just not impressed after things like Whisper and stuff like that. A lot of people are comparing this to Chainer, and I was just like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, Chainer is like a million times better than this card. So, anyway, we can't win them all.
Nope. We have Lathless Dragon Queen, 4 and 2 red dragon, 6/6 flying. Whenever another non-dragon or non-token dragon enters the battlefield under you control, get a 5/5 red dragon creature token with flying, and then board fire breathing. Pretty good.
With all of the multicolored dragons, I'm sorry to say this is my favorite out of all of them. It feels terrible because you've got things like Flip, Nicol Bolas, and blah blah blah, but sometimes just good value is good. You know what I mean? Like, this card is just amazing written all over it. The board presence is ridiculous, and then the pump effect, like we were just talking about, like overrun effects on cards. Obviously this is an overrun, but it's damn close, you know what I mean? Like, fire breathing is really good. Yeah, like we've seen, what's the dragon from Innistrad that everybody loves? Balefire Dragon?
Yeah.
Is that the right one?
Yeah, that
is that the right one I'm thinking of?
There's Moonveil Dragon.
That might be what I'm thinking of.
And I think it might be Balefire, and then I always get that and Avaricious Dragon mixed up. But
I'm with you there. But this feels a lot like that. But this is your commander. You know what I mean? So, unfortunately, I'm not going to build this deck because I have so many dragon decks already. Like, I think I have 3 at this point. So
it'll be an include.
Oh yeah, it'll go on each and every one of them. Like, I cannot wait till I pick this up for my Zilliron deck. Like, it is perfect. Oh yeah.
And like you said, just getting a 5/5 and dude, I think you're right though. The other commanders seem like there's a hoop to jump through, and this is just like, this is good.
Yeah, like I said, value is value. I wish it had another color on it, but that's just getting greedy. Like, if this was green-red, like, could you imagine?
There'd be so many crazy dragon decks out there. Not that there aren't already, but I like that it's stuck in red, especially for a core set.
This is another card that I just want a full art too. Like that sky, just an extension of that sky would just look amazing. It would make this card like pop like nobody's business.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm gonna stop gushing over this dragon because she's just so cool. Okay, then we've got my second favorite dragon. So Arcades the Strategist. So colorless and Bant, legendary creature, Elder Dragon, 3/5, Flying Vigilance. Whenever a creature with Defender enters the battlefield under control, draw a card. We already know how I am about that ability. Each creature you control with Defender assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power, and can attack as though it didn't have Defender. So yeah, really, really cool. I know Kylie again lost his mind as well. Like, I think we both like that kind of sit back strategy, and this is definitely a sit back strategy, but it also can be very aggressive, you know, when you need it to be. Because I mean, you think about like adding things like the blue or the green-white partner commander from the commander set way back when that says creatures with power 2 or creatures can't block your creatures with power 2 or less, and they have flying or reach. So you like pair that with this, and you have like a 0/8 wall, and you're just swinging for 8 or
blocking for 8. Like
oh, it's so good. So I mean, there's a million things. Like the Command Zone actually got this as a spoiler, and they pointed out a lot of really good points, and I listened to that, and it was just like, oh my gosh, you guys are 100% right. I will probably be building this deck. I don't know, like it's just so cool.
Definitely a good one. Poor Doran, I guess, right?
I mean, not really. They're in different colors. Plus, Doran does something a little bit different, where he changes everybody's, and then
I guess that's true.
He doesn't really do anything with Defenders, which is the one downside with Doran now, because this actually like says on the card Defender, so it doesn't need the Assault formation, although you're going to include it anyway, kind of thing. So
interesting. Definitely, like you said, I think one of the more interesting of the multicolors.
I think this and Nicol Bolas are the most interesting multicolor ones.
Chromium, the mutable. So 1 and 4 and Esper, excuse me, Elder Dragon.
Say, geez.
Wow, 4 for a 7/7 flash. The spell can't be countered. Flying. Discard a card until end of turn. Chromium becomes a human with base power and toughness 1/1 and loses all abilities and gains hexproof. It can't be blocked. So kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's I wish I saw the like blown up artwork of this, and it looks ridiculously cool. Like you can see the scales and everything like that. I wish there was a little bit closer version of this, you know, whatever. Regardless, like I don't know, this is a really good standard card in my opinion. I think so too. Like I think this
costs a lot, but
I think this becomes the finisher in Second Son control once Second Son leaves, you know. Because a 7/7 flyer that flashes in, like that's just so good.
And the fact that if you need to, you can probably pretty easily keep him safe. Like, you know, you think of cards like Aetherling or any of those that are just persistently like there and hard to deal with, and this fits that. And you know, you keep him safe as a 1/1 or something, and then all of a sudden you got a 7/7 next turn.
And as far as commander, like I don't really necessarily see this being the commander, but I see it fitting into a lot of decks. Like the 5-color dragon deck will love something like this, of course. Just having a flash dragon is always good. It's a sizable body. I wish it did maybe something a little bit different than giving itself hexproof, like maybe indestructible. But that's asking for a lot.
It'd be cool if he could change back, maybe like not at instant or something. I don't know. Like he's pretty decent though.
So anyway, interesting cards are interesting.
Yes.
And then we've got the Mac Daddy of the entire set. So Nicol Bolas, the Ravager. So if you haven't seen it, we have done a deck tech on this. It's a super flavor themed one, so it's not like super grindy or powerful or anything like that, but it's a lot of fun. So anyway, colorless and Grixis, legendary creature, Elder Dragon, 4/4 flying. When Nicol Bolas the Ravager enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card, which is pretty good. Then you can pay 4 colorless and then Grixis, exile Nicol Bolas the Ravager, then return him to the battlefield, transformed under his owner's control. Activate this ability only anytime you can cast sorcery. And then I've got the flip side here. So Nicol Bolas the Arisen, legendary planeswalker Bolas, 7 loyalty, which is crazy. +2, draw 2 cards. -3, Nicol Bolas the Arisen deals 10 damage to target creature or planeswalker. -4, put target creature or planeswalker card from a graveyard on the battlefield under control. And then -12, exile all but the bottom card of target player's library.
Really good. Great flip side, or well, like a starting side, and then a very effective like flip.
I love that they started him out with such high loyalties, because you're spending so much mana to flip him over. It kind of makes sense. And it doesn't seem overpowered here because of the way you have to get to the planeswalker. It's like, you know, jumping through hoops kind of thing, like you were saying.
Right.
All the abilities are pretty solid. It's kind of weird because this almost doesn't feel as multiplayer as I want it to feel.
Yeah.
Because a lot of it's very targeted.
Yes.
The -4 ability is probably my favorite ability, besides maybe the +2, but that's just because it's drawing cards. Obviously, ultimates I never even think about, like, when are they going to happen? And then the -3 is good protection, I guess.
Yeah, if you can get there, like, I agree. It definitely seems like a standard card where you're kind of winning the arm wrestle against your opponent. Like, card advantage, destroy their best thing, get it back, and then probably not even ultimate, but just take them out with whatever you've stolen from them, like... Yeah, super cool.
Yeah, I think it'll definitely open up some deck building opportunities in Commander where you can kind of, like, once again do that theme for Nicol Bolas, because I think a lot of people have been looking forward to that, because they've actually, I mean, there's a ton of Nicol Bolas decks already where they just use the old Nicol Bolas with the new artwork or whatever. Yeah. And that works really well, but this is way better.
Yes, big time.
So, there we go. And then we've got, I'll let you read this one.
Sure. Palladium Moore, the Ruiner. So 3 and Naya, legendary creature, 6/6, flying vigilance, trample. Palladium Moore, the Ruiner, has hexproof if it hasn't dealt damage yet. So, kind of interesting there, I guess.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that giant, the Mistwalker. What's his name? Ural.
Yeah.
Not as good, obviously, because he loses the hexproof once he's dealt the damage, but in a way you can build him up like Ural. Yep. Just like stack up all those auras or all those equipments and then just swing him at somebody. I think it's interesting that this is like the dragon with armor on, for the most part. Like, I feel like Nicol Bolas looks like totally savage, just like no armor, blah, blah, blah. Then we've got Palladium Moore, or the first one that we looked at, that kind of has a little bit of armor going on, but this one looks like it's battle ready. Yeah. Supposedly this is Nicol Bolas and Ugin's sister. And story-wise, it does look like Nicol Bolas.
Yeah, I can see that.
And it actually looks cooler than Nicol Bolas in a lot of ways. I like the aesthetic here.
Yeah, very cool.
Like, those horns are sick. The color of her skin is really, really cool. So on and so forth. Interesting dragon. I'll be interested to see if we run into some like Voltron Commander deck lists with this in there.
I'd say so. Some good colors for it,
Yeah. And then our last dragon, I believe. Yep. So Victus Asmati, the Dire. So 3 colorless and Jund, legendary creature, olive dragon, flying. Whenever I just said it. V Asmati, the Dire attacks. For each player, choose target player or target permanent that player controls. Those players sacrifice those permanents. Each player who sacrifices a permanent this way reveals the top card of their library, then puts it on the battlefield if it's a permanent card. So, kind of chaotic. Yeah. Really interesting. Okay removal. It's like a Chaos Warp for everything except for, don't shuffle and then just reveal the top card. Not bad. Yeah. I don't know if I would play it, but Jund Dragons, I could see it.
Yeah. It's interesting.
The problem is Prosh is just so good.
Real good, and Karthus is real good. And
yeah, like there's so many other Jund choices for dragons. I guess if you're not going tribal and you're just going like destroy. Yeah. Well, and this fits right into like Shatter Gang, you know what I mean? Yeah. Or most dragon decks, to be honest. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's probably gonna be just a 5-color include, and if you need a Chaos Warp, you just pick the best thing they have, like every turn.
Nice doubling season. Oh no, Omniscience.
Yeah, crap.
That's kind of what you got to be careful of. There are cards that you can kind of manipulate the tops of other people's libraries, but I don't know if you're going to go that far into delving into things like that. Plus, I think you'd have to be in blue in there anyway, because that's what does the colors. So. Yep. Anyway. Cool card.
Odds are they're going to hit something bad. Good one.
I think it's a land. Yeah, a land. For an Omniscience or something is pretty good. Yeah. Okay, so we're breaking into our whites.
We have a Johnny, Adversary of Tyrants, 2 and 2 white for 4 loyalty. +1, put a +1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. -2, return target creature card with converted mana cost 2 or less from graveyard to battlefield. And -7, you get an emblem with, at the beginning of your end step, create a 1/1 white cat creature token with lifelink. Or 3 of them, excuse me. 3 1/1s. Not bad.
Yeah, I love the emblem. Yeah. Like, I don't usually say I love Planeswalkers for emblems, but my god, this emblem is so cool.
Yeah, that's really sweet.
I want to put this... It feels bad because I really want to put this in my 4-color Super Friends deck because it would just be amazing to doubling season this and get tokens every turn. But the other 2 abilities, they won't work for that deck because there's no creatures in that deck, so it's kind of like, meh.
It's interesting. They, I think, really trimmed down all the costs. They kind of beefed up all the loyalty for these. They all seem pretty good. And there's probably one more Planeswalker. That'd be...
Potentially.
I think there will be.
You think so?
I think so.
Yeah, it'll probably be Sarkin. Most likely, because we haven't seen a Sarkin for the set. We've seen a Sarkin for the Planeswalker decks.
Are you sure? There's a 3-cost one.
Is there?
Yeah. He's like 1 and 2 red and draws and gets a dragon and then...
Or Sarkin, sorry. I'm saying the wrong name. Tezzeret.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, guys. Wow. Brain fart.
There you go. The blue guy.
Yeah, there we go. Jeez. So we've gotten the blue version of Tezzeret already.
In the Planeswalker decks.
In the Planeswalker decks.
Yes.
Sorry. I totally went off on the rails there. Yeah, that'll probably be the one, I would assume, because Jace isn't going to be on this set. No. I mean, I would doubt it.
Yeah. That would stink if Tezzeret's like, you're in the Planeswalker deck, man. And then Jace is like, I'm here to take the mythic spot in this pack.
Shabam.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's going to happen, I think it'll mirror the Planeswalker deck.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah.
And that's the way I look at it.
Yeah,
so we'll probably get him tomorrow sometime since we are recording this on Thursday.
Yeah.
Anyway, I agree with you. I think they are pushing things a little bit. I think power creep is starting to happen a little bit overall.
And I think it's cool. Like, I feel like a lot of these Planeswalkers are just like, meh.
Yeah.
And now they're just like 4 for 5 loyalty, this, that, do these. Like, we'll get to the Liliana. It's just some of these like styles haven't really been done a lot or well, and now we're getting some interesting Planeswalkers.
Well, and I feel like you open this and you're excited about it.
Yeah.
You know, whereas sometimes in the past you're just like, oh,
great. Oh, great. I got a Dovin.
Yeah, like or the Tezzeret, the one from last set. Although he did get popular there for a little while, but you know, he wasn't great.
Yep.
Anyway, shabam. So, Resplendent Angel. So, a colorless 2 white creature angel flying at the beginning of each end step. If you gain 5 or more life this turn, create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying and vigilance. Then you can pay 3 colorless and 3 white until end of turn. Resplendent Angel gets +2/+2 and gains lifelink. 3/3. So all of that packed on a 3/3 for 3 with flying. That's pretty good.
Yeah, not too bad.
I wonder if people lose their minds over this, kind of like what they did with Lyra Dawnbringer.
Yeah.
I think it's cool that they're in the same like standard rotation. So that's going to be interesting. I mean it's cool.
It's solid. Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, Lyra turns this into a 4/4, and then you just buff it. It's the 6/6 flying with lifelink that's going to get you a 5 or a 4/4 or a 5/5 angel at that point.
Yeah.
At the end step, so I mean, that's pretty
good. Very, very angel swarmy.
Yeah.
We have Valiant Knight for 3 and a white. Human Knight 3/4. Other knights you control get +1/+1. 3 and 2 activation. Knights you control gain double strike until end of turn. So pretty good. Again, pushing another tribe that was somewhat incomplete with the release of Dominaria. Cool art.
We really need a Mardu Knight legendary creature.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet.
Because I think the black-white Knight chick is cool, but I don't think she's enough. I think you need that red in there because there are so many good red knights.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm waiting for that.
Someday, I think you're right, Steve.
It'll happen.
Print one.
Yeah. We'll go back to like Shards of Alara, and it'll be like enemy Shards of Alara. Yeah. Everything got screwed up.
Mardu of Alara.
Yeah.
To Clans of Alara.
Yeah. Cons of Alara.
Yeah. Next we have Cleansing Nova 3 and 2 white sorcery. Choose 1, destroy all creatures, or destroy all artifacts and enchantments. Not bad.
This is a solid card.
Yeah.
Like it. You know, we always talk about what's the white spell that everybody plays that got the choose 2
austere command.
Yeah, there we go. Austere command.
That's pretty much it, because usually it's artifacts and enchantments or greater and less than 3. Like
so it's like they just shortcutted it a little bit.
Really.
We're like, let's make it a little bit cheaper too. Yeah. So I mean, really cool card. I like the artwork a lot too. All those demons getting vaporized.
It reminds me of the Primordial's Rebirth, kind of those like all the demons rising, and now they're just getting blasted.
Kind of reminds me of Damnation in a way.
Yeah, I could see that as well.
Yeah, kind of weird. Okay, we've got Remorseful Cleric. So spirits are my jam. They always have been. So a colorless and a white, flying, sacrifice Remorseful Cleric. Exile all cards from target player's graveyard. Yeah, pretty good. I'm going to put this in my Tashar deck.
Yeah.
Like, that effect
get him back.
Needs to happen a lot of times, especially in our play group. We have so many graveyard players, including me, that this card would pretty much just nuke.
Yeah, and like you said, getting him back, I mean, sometimes you don't want to run like a Tormod's or something, or you need a Relic Progenitus, and it's good. It doesn't exile everybody.
Well, and it fits into Carador, which is also really good.
Yeah.
Like, there are a few decks that just like this card.
Yeah, definitely cool. Next we have a Johnny's Last Stand 2 and 2 white enchantment. Whenever a creature or planeswalker you control dies, you may sacrifice a Johnny's Last Stand. If you do, create a 4/4 white avatar creature with flying. When a spell or ability an opponent controls causes you to discard this card, if you control planes, create a 4/4 white avatar creature token with flying. So, not too bad.
Yeah, I had a lot of qualms with including this one on here because it's not really a card for Commander in my opinion. It's kind of odd. The only reason I kind of threw it on here is because of the discard effect. Like, I think there's a lot of decks that still run on that, like the Wiltleaf Liege stuff, like a 1v1, like, oh, you're going to force me to discard. I'm going to discard this and get a lot of value out of it.
Right.
So,
yeah.
The artwork's cool. I wish it would have done something a little bit different because, I mean, it's a 4-mana do nothing, basically.
Otherwise, unless you're playing a bunch of Planeswalkers or something. And, I mean, you could get rid of them. You could activate them away.
Yeah, you could, but...
Still, not super great.
Not great.
And that means that Johnny probably dies, man.
I think this is in the past.
Oh.
Because this is when Johnny and Nicol fought
on, like, shards?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think we'll see any, like, deaths or anything until next block. If we see any deaths, which they should have done in Amonkhet, in my opinion. I think somebody should be dead at least.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, think of Nissa. She's not even part of the story anymore, but she's not dead.
No.
She should have just been dead.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Somebody.
You can't kill the elf players, like, Planeswalker.
Yeah, but they got a new one.
Vivien or whatever? Yeah, but...
Oh, she's a human, but...
Yeah.
I
don't know. I think you'd ruffle some feathers, but I'm with you. They need to do something.
Like, something needs to happen to the main cast, because, like...
I do like that Liliana's, like...
Yeah, she's flipped over.
That's cool. That kind of counts, but...
Yeah, but I mean, like, even if, like, Gideon could have died last set, like, easy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You think of stuff with, like, who's gone away? Like, Venser, I guess, is dead.
Yeah.
Elspeth is, like, in limbo underworld.
She's gonna become a zombie planeswalker or something.
Yeah, like Koth, we don't know. But, yeah, like, even those guys felt like, they just, like, drifted away.
I don't think it needs to be Game of Thrones, but I think it needs to be somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I think you're right. That'd be cool.
Or somebody needs to bite the bullet and, like, sacrifice themselves.
In a huge way, yeah. I think that'd be cool.
I don't think it should be a Johnny. I think it should be a main cast member. You know what I mean? Like, a Johnny is pretty close to main cast in my opinion, but he's not the one I think of when I think of Gatewatch. I think of Gideon, Chandra, Nissa, Jace, and Liliana. Of course, Liliana's gone now, but one of those four needs to, like... Not Jace, though, because everybody would go lose their minds.
It'd be fine if they got rid of Jace.
Yeah, I would agree, but I think a lot of people would be pretty upset.
Post in the comments if you've watched us for the next 27 minutes.
Do you want Jace to die? Anyway, next card. We've got Leona and War Leader. Speaking of a Johnny, this fits into a lot of the decks that he does. So, 2 colorless and 2 white. Cat Soldier, 4/4. When Leona and War Leader attacks, create 2 1/1 white cat creature tokens with lifelink. They are tapped and attacking. So this is Breema's, but
only
almost
attacking
better.
And 2 creatures, and he's a 3/4 Breema's? Yeah.
Well, he's for 3 too, so not better, but he fits right into that deck. Or this one fits right into that deck.
Dude, could you imagine, like, 2 of these like just swinging away?
Could you imagine that standard? Like, cats everywhere.
There's the Cat Lord, right? Regal Caracal. Like,
and then of course we've got Arabo or whatever his name is. So I mean, this fits right into that deck. I know my wife's gonna be after this card for sure. Yeah, I like the artwork a lot. It reminds me for some reason of Black Panther.
Okay, yeah, I could see that.
Like when he's in that, like,
Dream
other world
realm.
or whatever.
I was just gonna say that with the tree and stuff.
Yeah, it's
great art.
Yeah.
Next we have a Johnny's Welcome. I saw this and wanted it real bad. 1 enchantment, or white enchantment. Creature, whenever creature enters the battlefield under you control, you gain a life. So not bad. It is not as good as, say, Soul Warden, because it's only you, but...
Yeah, and it's not Authority of the Consoles either, but... I think it's still good. I think it's worth running in the life gain decks, like Soul Sisters type strategies.
I'll probably put it in my Darien deck.
Yeah, I'll probably put it in my Ailey deck. Yeah. So, I mean, I just want a foil of this because I'm sure it'll look amazing.
I'm sure too.
Yeah.
Well done, Wizards.
Yeah. Good job on this uncommon.
Yeah. No, we don't need to talk about this one.
Well, so there are a lot of notable reprints in this set, and this is probably one of the bigger... Well, I think Crucible Worlds is the biggest one, but this is definitely second place.
Yeah.
Omniscience has been something that has been good in Commander for I don't know how many years now, and, like, oddly enough, I don't see very many people running it anymore. I think it's because you kind of get that feel bad from the table.
I played it once, and I'm just like, this isn't Magic.
Yeah.
This is looking at my cards and putting them on the table, like, which is amazing.
Yeah.
I think 2 people had this at the same time, and it was just like, this is so dumb. Like, what are we even doing?
Like you said, is this Magic?
Yeah.
And the answer is no.
The game should end when you play this card.
Yeah,
like,
it really should. It should just say win the game.
Yeah, a great reprint, because I think it was around $20 or something. Have another source of foils of this one. Yeah, good include.
I kind of wish they would have used the Amonkhet Nicol Bolas artwork since we are so focused on Nicol Bolas. I think that would have been amazing.
But that's less special.
I don't know, dude. I think that would have been sick in like a regular frame. Like I would have gone for it.
That's true. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, but here we are with old JC Poo.
Yep.
Walking through the plains or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we've got the controversial card. So Nexus of Fate, 5 colors, 2 blue, instant speed. Take an extra turn after this turn. If Nexus of Fate would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, reveal Nexus of Fate and shuffle it into its owner's library instead.
This is the buy box rare, so buy as many boxes as you like at your store and get them as long as supplies last. Yeah, instant, great. Turn, meh. The turn, obviously a turn is good, but it doesn't like. It could just be an extra land drop or something, you know, an untap. Being shuffled, you know, I don't know. I think I'm a little lukewarm on this. Obviously, it's very strong.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think extra turn effects are like boring at this point.
Yeah.
It's just kind of. I love doing like casting them, especially in something like Torrent or something like that. But for the most part, it's just like okay, another one.
Yep.
Stack them up.
And I think that'll be the overall effect for EDH players. And you know, I'm kind of up in the air in standard. I don't know. It's hard.
Well, just kind of how we talked about the dragon, like this could definitely be a spell that they could, like the fact that it's instant speed is the only reason that we're even talking about this.
Yeah,
if it was 7
sorcery.
cost sorcery, it'd just be like, this is trash. But
I get a land drop over you, ha ha.
Yeah, ooh.
And the shuffle's good, but yeah, I think you're right.
Yep.
Supreme Phantom, 1 and a blue spirit, 1/3 flying. Other spirits get +1/+1.
So cool.
I should have let you read that one, Steve.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
You're fine.
We should revert.
You're good.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, not too bad.
Like this goes in Geist Saint Draft like automatically, which is one of my favorite like fun decks, I guess you'd call it. Once again, I love spirits. I'm waiting for that day that they print us a 5-color legendary creature spirit that is really playable. Like I know the dragon is whatever is okay, but I really want a playable one, or just like an Esper one would make my day.
At least Esper.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of good red and green and Kamigawa and stuff.
Yeah, we just need to return to Kamigawa and get like some ridiculous spirit legendaries.
Yeah, we
like
will.
50 of them.
I bet we will.
Oh, I'm sure we will someday.
Do you want to do this one?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
One with the machine. So 3 colors and a blue sorcery. Draw cards equal to the highest converted mana cost among artifacts you control. So not a bad card for artifact builds. It's okay. Like I don't know. I think it'll work for a lot of those decks that are just trying to amass artifacts. I mean, what else is there to really say about this?
It's good. I'd run it. I think I run Sphinx's Rev and like I used to run Mind Spring and Tidings and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, you cheat out like something with affinity that like Mycosynth Golem was like 12 or something insane, like, and draw 12 cards. Not too bad for 4. A card looks awesome. I'm gonna track down foil.
Yeah, I love the artwork too. The Tezzeret.
Yeah. Next we have Mistcaller. For a blue, a 1/1 Merfolk Wizard. Sacrifice him until on turn. If a non-token creature would enter the battlefield and it wasn't cast, exile instead. Pretty good.
There seems to be a lot of these type of effects in these last couple of sets.
Yeah, I don't think they like them.
No.
Cheating stuff in is not. That's a feel bad for
why
some
do
people.
they do it then?
I mean, because it attracts both people. Like,
I guess.
I think everybody wants to get something for free, but they've got a Hushwing Griffith or Mist whatever guy just to keep it under control.
So we've got Metamorphic Alteration. So a colorless and a blue aura, enchant creature as metaphoric alteration enters the battlefield. Choose a creature. Enchanted creature is a copy of the chosen creature. So there's actually a ton of application for this. I mean, you can turn their best creature into their worst creature, or you can turn your worst creature into your best creature.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, interesting.
Like I think Lauren was kind of going crazy about this for his Zur. There we go. Because I mean, that would work.
Yeah, I think it's a good way to remove or even the field. Yeah, it's perfect. We have Patient Rebuilding, 3 and 2 blue enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, target opponent puts the top 3 cards of their library in their graveyard. Then you draw a card for each land put in the graveyard this way.
Yeah, I mean this card's been out for a while. It's interesting. It's cool. I love the artwork. It's definitely wild.
Yeah.
Then I've got Mirror Image, so another clone card. So 2 colors and a blue, 0/0. You may have Mirror Image enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature you control. So, I mean, yeah. Is it Phantasmal Image? No, but it's still pretty cool.
Yeah. Do you want to read this one?
Oh, you go for it.
Okay. We have Liliana Untouched by Death. So 2 and 2 black for a 4 loyalty Liliana. So +1. Put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard. If at least one of them was a zombie, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Target creature gets -X until end of turn, where X is the number of zombies you control. And the quote ultimate for -3, you may cast zombies cards from your graveyard this turn. So right away, ultimatable. This is what I was talking about earlier. That kind of just like new style. Like,
yeah,
that's an interesting ultimate that you can do. You can do all these abilities right off the bat. Like super cool.
I really like the +1. Like,
yes,
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And, you know, like you said, the ultimate is crazy. Like, imagine playing this in, like, a zombie tribal deck with, like, Rooftop Storm, and then all of a sudden you're just -3 and you can return everything.
Yeah.
So this is an automatic in my Gissa and Geralf. It's just going right in there as soon as I get a copy of this.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, she doesn't have a whole lot of applications outside of a zombie deck, which is kind of rough, but I think it's actually fair for the power level of this card, because if you think about it, if it was, like, return all creatures or something like that, then it would be busted as hell.
Right.
So I think this card's very well balanced. Just using tribe as a balance, I think, is something that they're doing more and more.
Yeah.
Which I think is appropriate. You know, because it limits it. It makes commander players go crazy, because obviously we're always looking for like tribal stuff, and then it makes it so it doesn't really have that much of a chance of being completely broken in standard.
And you've got a cast rather than like getting them, like you said, or just dumping. Like it's like you said, fair.
Yeah.
An interesting mold, I guess. It'll be cool to see what other stuff they kind of try to make fit this style of Planeswalker.
Well, and that artwork, oh my gosh. Like, I can't get over it. Like, it's just so cool. I want that on a playmat.
Yep.
So next up, we've got Bone Dragon. So, 3 colorless and 2 black. I think this is kind of one of the dud mythics of the set. Flying 5/4, 3 colorless, 2 black. Exile 7 other cards from your graveyard. Return Bone Dragon from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. I'm not that impressed with it.
Yeah, just a draft bomb, I guess, and if you need to, I don't know. Really late game, really odd. He's a skeleton, though.
I have a penchant for being wrong on these types of cards, though. I mean, like, it turned around on us on Chain Whirler, and I even thought Thragtusk wasn't that great when I first saw it. So, I mean, I could be 100% wrong on this one. I think it's going to be... I think the problem is I always look at things through the lens of Commander.
Right.
And, like, I never really think about, like, applications in Standard. Because this is a pretty decent control, like, card, you know, like, if you think about it.
Yeah.
The fact that it says exile other cards instead of creatures is pretty good. Yeah. Anyway.
7's tough. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird.
Next, we've got Friedhof Marshall. I don't know.
So I didn't get the English translation on this one just because I know what it does, so I'll go ahead and take this one. Sure. You can get the next one. So, 2 colorless, 3/2 zombie. Basically, you can pay 3 and remove a creature from your graveyard to make a 2/2 tapped zombie. So not bad. You know, it fits right into like the zombie tribal deck once again. It's not a lord, but it's a provider of dudes, essentially. Yeah. So, interesting.
Next we have Open the Graves, so 3 and 2 black enchantment. When a non-creature token non-token creature you control dies, create a 2/2 black zombie. Not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for Commander. It's terrible everywhere else. Like, it's a very big like do nothing card once again. It sucks that those cards are just so good for Commander all the time, because like then I guess they have a place, so they keep making them. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
It's cool. I again, another zombie people are just going, oh my god. You know, like, I would take that. Oh, my zombie dies, and I get another zombie, and I'm going to run this Liliana and get that one back. Like,
Rise from the Dark Realms too.
It's cool. I like the art. It's neat to kind of look at everybody.
It's like a
wedding or something.
Yeah, that's what cool. I keep thinking.
Very neat. Or they're all leaving their cemetery.
Yeah, and then we've got the reprint of Death Baron. This card needed to be reprinted a long time ago. Really, in my opinion, it got way too expensive for what it does. It's a zombie lord. Like, those are good, but my gosh,
it's a skeleton lord too.
Okay, yeah.
So Death Baron, Bone Dragon,
who
beat down incoming.
Okay, I'm waiting for the skeleton tribe zombie leader or whatever.
Freaking champion of Stray Souls, man. Should have been a legendary.
Yeah, he should have.
Not that he's great, but then we'd have
something,
a hero,
at least.
Someone to look up to.
He can be your hero, baby.
And now Death Baron, shouldn't have been a $20 card. Casual card written all over it.
Yep.
Amazing. Great reprint.
Yep.
Next we have Demon of Catastrophes. 2 and 2 black demon, 6/6. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice creature, flying trample. Not bad.
I love this card.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I absolutely love this card. I adore it. If I was still playing Standard, I would try and make this work until like the end of rotation, basically. I know it probably wouldn't work, but my god.
And they've had a lot of those effects. I think Avacyn was, I forget which one, the last time I've seen. The 9/9. You have to sacrifice human every turn or something.
Yeah, and then like the guy, what was the really popular one? He was a 4/4 for 6 as well. Mm-hmm. That if your opponent could sacrifice a creature and tap them down before combat.
From Ravnica.
Yeah, you guys know what we're talking about. Anyway, really cool.
Desecration Demon.
There we go.
That's the one.
So, yeah, really cool artwork. Love the artwork. I mean, this is just a cool card. I love demons like this too, especially like lower cost ones. It helps fill out like that tribal list like we were talking about earlier, because tribal demons has always been one of those big ones as well. And it's kind of tough because all your demons are like 6, 7, 8, so this fits in there.
Cheaper one.
Yeah. So we've got a Fel Specter. I included this purely because I like it. I know a lot of people are probably not going to agree with me here, but 3 colors and a black, 1/3 flying. When Fel Specter enters the battlefield, target opponent discards a card. Whenever an opponent discards a card, that player loses 2 life.
So another one of those Megramy type effects, and
you just
Lilianas Specter, and
stack these up, man.
Yeah.
And like our friend, I should say, Brian Abraham has a really, I don't know why I use his last name. Anyway.
Now y'all know.
Yeah, has a really cool Anala deck where it's just like wheels and whatnot. It's like Nekusar without Nekusar, which is really cool in my opinion.
Thumbs up there.
Yeah, so this is like, fits right in there. It's just another way to kill us all in like one turn with like a windfall and just like, something. Yeah. I'll be including this in my Cow deck that I just built as well. I think this is one of the reasons I went Cow.
Yeah.
Just, the artwork's so cool. I love this, like, on a giant bat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super creepy. Next we have Fraying Omnipotence, 3 and 2 black sorcery. Each player loses half their life, then discards half the cards in their hand, then sacrifices half the creatures they control, round up each time.
Oh my god.
Pretty good. Hey, it's like you put those two next to each other.
Oh my god.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, that's insane. Wow.
Artwork.
I haven't seen this card yet, so that's pretty crazy.
I haven't seen that either. Very strong.
I'm guessing this is when the mending happens, because Nicol Bolas is like losing his like ridiculous amount of power.
Yeah.
Great mending. Yeah. Hey, it says it right in the flavor text. Oh my gosh, it's right there, Steve.
Cool. Definitely a cool card.
Yep. Okay, so Liliana's Contract. So 3 colors, 2 black enchantment. When Liliana's Contract enters the battlefield, you draw 4 cards and lose 4 life. Okay. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 4 or more demons with different names, you win the game. Speaking of demon tribal, wow.
Here's my thought. Everybody ready for this?
Yep.
Okay. Turn 1 through, I think, 4, maybe 5. A bunch of dorks. Even like artifacts. Turn 5 this, and then I think it's turn 6. Or no, maybe that wouldn't work. I was thinking conspiracy, because you can make all creatures, all types.
I see what you're saying.
And then you've got like a Myr guy, Iron Myr, and he's a demon, and then you win the game.
Well, what I would do is Shadowborn Apostle.
Yeah, just fetch a whole bunch of different demons. Yeah.
Or just have the Shadowborn Apostles, then do the conspiracy. If your Shadowborn Apostles get wiped, you sacrifice them, go get the demons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
See that?
So,
Super cool. And like you said, wow, this would be good for 5, lose 4 life and draw 4 cards.
Yeah, who cares? That's all I really need for this card.
Yeah, that's amazing,
Yeah, and the fact that it sticks around too is to be bounced. Really?
It's a very good point.
Yeah. So, we need a 3-color Brago that's Esper now, and does ridiculous stuff, so.
Sarkin, Fireblood, 1 and 2 red, legendary Sarkin, 3 loyalty. For +1, you may discard a card if you do draw. Good. For +1, add 2 mana of any combination of colors. Spend it to cast only dragons, so also pretty good, especially with all the dragon multicolor, 5-color, whatever.
Yep.
And then -7, create 4 5/5 red dragon creature tokens with flying.
So once again, limited by tribe, and I think it's perfect.
It really does work.
This is a very appropriate card, very appropriate power level. I think it's a great core set Planeswalker. I mean, everybody's gonna be looking for this again. I need this in my Zelrun deck like pronto.
Yeah.
Just really cool.
And think this guy automatically fits. Let's say your ultimate goal in standard is to cast the Jund or Naya dragon.
Yep.
Turn 3, drop him. Turn 4, if you keep your land, you could probably. Well, no, you'd be 1 short of each. Huh?
Yeah.
You're close. I mean, the card is super cool.
Yeah, definitely. It's no, you would be right there, wouldn't you?
I think they both cost 6, don't they?
Oh, you're probably right. Yeah.
It's their color and 3.
Yeah, you're right.
Definitely cool include.
Yeah. Or you could do Nicol Bolas.
Yeah, you could.
Like
on turn 4.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, Grixis, you're right.
Next up, we've got Goblin Trashmaster. So me and Seth were talking about this guy the other day. The name is ridiculously cool.
Yeah.
So 2 colors, 2 red, 3/3 Goblin Warrior. Other goblins you control get +1/+1. Sacrifice a goblin, destroy target artifact.
Yeah, not bad.
It's very goblin.
Yeah, really. And another lord, like they needed him, but again, it's kind of tame, and goblins in standard need some assistance, some I guess, so yeah. Sarkin's Unsealing. So 3 and a red enchantment. Whenever you cast a creature spell with power 4, 5, or 6, Sarkin's Unsealing deals 4 damage to any target. When you cast a creature spell with 7 or greater, power 7 or greater, Sarkin's Unsealing deals 4 damage to each opponent and each creature and planeswalker they control.
So pretty cool.
Yeah.
Good for, once again, like mono red big dragons, or just big dragons in general.
Yeah.
I've got Dark Dweller Oracle, probably one of my favorite cards from the set so far. So a colorless and a red, 2/2, pay 1 color, sacrifice a creature, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. We've seen a lot of these types of effects, and I think this is like getting close to being perfect. Like if there wasn't the sacrifice creature clause, this would be ridiculous. Of course,
for a single one or something.
But in like a Goblin's Tribal deck, this is ridiculous. I'm going to be using it in a lot of, like, I have a red-black tokens deck that would love something like this. Just another way to get that extra card advantage. Yeah, it's kind of weird and you have to cast it right then, but it still works.
Yeah, definitely a neat card.
Yep.
We have Volve Veteran 3 and a red Goblin Warrior 4/2. When Volve Veteran enters the battlefield, it deals damage to target creature and opponent controls equal to the number of goblins you control.
Yep.
So like a creature goblin burn.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I included it here for what you were saying. Like, goblins need a little bit of a push, and I think this is like their mid-range, just like destroy that creature so it can't block anymore. Yeah. Get past them.
Yep.
So Vivien Reed, 3 colors and 2 green, 5 loyalty. Vivien, of course. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card or land card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. -3, destroy target artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying. -8, you can an emblem with creatures you control, get +2/+2, and have vigilance, trample, and indestructible. This is a perfect green planeswalker in a lot of ways. Like, it's actually really, really good. I love it for Commander.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm going to be putting all my copies, of course. So.
Yeah, a good dig, a good, like, problem solver in green, and then decent ultimate. I don't know if I'd ever, you could get there, I guess, but you're probably winning if you don't need to -3 or whatever.
Well, yeah, doubling season, just pop it out there and get it, and then overrun everybody and kill everything.
Yeah.
And it's a weird crater hoof, I guess.
Yes.
But it works still. Then we've got the Armas. So this guy, I haven't pulled up on my phone because once again we have the foreign language one. Basically, anytime a opponent activates a ability of a land or a creature, I think it is.
Yeah.
That's not a mana ability, you get to draw a card.
Yep.
So just card draw in green. Something I always look for because it's not that common.
Yeah. Hungering Hydra X in green. Hungering Hydra enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters. Can't be blocked by more than one creature. When he is dealt damage, put that many +1/+1 counters on it. So, pretty similar to that, I think, Feral Hydra.
Yeah.
That's my understanding. So,
I wish the translation wouldn't have changed it from Hungry Hydra. That was perfect.
Everybody say that from now on.
Yeah. Okay, another card that we don't really need to talk about, but it's awesome. Scape Shift. Woo! Yep. 2 colors, 2 green. It's amazing. Blah.
Good reprint. I don't know about, like, somebody brought up the point, deserts in standard. Now you can get them if you need something like a landfall deck or something. But, yeah. Obviously excited for the people that need this card, and that's not $50-$60 anymore.
It needed to be reprinted really
big
bad.
time.
I mean, I've been looking for this card for a lot of decks for a long time, and I just haven't bought them because they're stupid expensive.
I do appreciate this art is very good, also compared to the classic.
Yeah.
That card always, like, mesmerized me, and this one looks sharp, too.
Yeah. Like, it's not quite there, just because the other one's just, once again,
like,
so
surreal.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, this is kind of playing on that same theme where it's just, like, boats out of place. Like, what the hell?
Fish out of water.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's still very, very good.
Yeah. Elvish Clan Caller. 2 green elf druid, 1/1. Other elves get +1/+1. For 4, 2 green and a tap, search your library for a card named Elvish Clan Caller. Put it in the battlefield and shuffle your library. Pretty good.
Yeah, I think the only line we care about is other elves get +1/+1.
Yeah.
That's all I care about.
Obviously, in standard, like,
yeah,
if you could get late game and you got 2 of these guys, like, I love that effect. I played it in lore when standard. Like, yeah, pretty interesting. Obviously high cost, but good.
And I've got Gigantosaurus. So our 5 green, 10/10. That's all he does, and that's all he needed to do.
Yeah, super cool. What did I say? Double Dutch vanilla?
Yeah, whatever you said that one time.
Super cool.
And we finally get to see this artwork a little bit clearer. So Prodigious Growth, 4 colors, 2 green, enchanted creature gets +7/+7, and has trample.
Yep.
Woo!
Not bad. Viviennes Invocation, 5 and 2 green, sorcery. Look at the top 7 cards of your library. You may put a creature card from among them into the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. When that creature is put in the battlefield this way, it deals damage equal to its power to target creature and opponent controls. So like 7 card dig, put into play, fight.
Yep.
Pretty one-sided fight too.
Yep.
Which is good.
Screw him.
Yeah.
Just a good reprint. Reclamation Sage. This is one of the better ETB elves that exist, in my opinion. I think everybody should be playing a copy of this if they can. Just a good card. Yeah. I mean, it's acidic slime for a lower cost, essentially.
And hard to find, so a great reprint, especially at Uncommon. They kept it there, so. This one I've got, we have Thorn Lieutenant, 1 and a green creature warrior. For a 2/3, whenever Thorn Lieutenant becomes a target of spells or abilities an opponent control, create a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token. And for 5 and a green, Thorn Lieutenant gets +4/+4 until end of turn.
Not bad.
No, not too bad, especially with that other one. They share the same drop as far as 2 drops. So the clan color, interesting.
Yeah, this reminds me a lot of Golgari too.
Yeah, I could see that.
Now we're getting to our multicolor spells. So Satyr Enchanters, so a colorless and a green and a white. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, draw a card. Very good. Good uncommon, good for commander, good for standard, I would even imagine. Just really cool card.
We have Regal Bloodlord, 3 and white black. Vampire Soldier, 2/4 flying at the beginning of each end step. If you gain life this turn, create a 1/1 black bat creature with flying.
It's kind of funny because there are so many cards that just gain you life from other people putting creatures into play, like like Soul Warden. We were just talking about stuff like that. Hey, this is perfect. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely doable.
Poison Tip Archer, so 2 colors, a black and a green. Reach, Death Touch. Whenever another creature dies, each opponent loses 1 life.
That's pretty good, especially in those colors.
Yeah, perfect for Nath. That's what I was looking for. But in the Slimefoot Sapperling thing that may go on in standard, this works perfectly in there as well. Because now all of a sudden you're draining, then you're dealing damage too. Yeah, it's just really good.
And a good combo, obviously. Reach, Death Touch, not
really bad
good.
At all.
Especially with a bunch of dragons running around.
Yeah, really. It's almost like this is necessary or something.
Yeah. Skyrider Patrol, 2 and green blue Elf Scout, 2/3 flying at the beginning of your combat on your turn. You may pay Simic. When you do, put a 1/1 counter on each or another target creature you control, and the creature gains flying till end of turn. Not too bad.
Good for +1/+1 counter decks. Then we've got Draconic Disciple, so a colorless and a green and a red, or red and a green. Tap, add 1 mana of any color, then you can pay 7, tap, sacrifice Draconic Disciple, create a 5/5 red dragon creature token with flying.
Not too bad.
I like mana dorks that turn themselves into something better later, so this is just a cool card.
We don't need to talk about this. Skip it, Steve.
Worlds, I kind of wish they would have done some new artwork for this, but the old one's iconic and it looks
classic.
awesome.
Yeah.
We've got Chaos Wand, so 3 colorless. Pay 4, tap, target opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile an instant or sorcery card. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost, then put the exiled cards that weren't cast this turn on the bottom of the library of their library in a random order. Interesting card. Love chaos effects most of the time. So yeah, just another one of those.
Great art too. Amulet of Safekeeping, 2. Whenever you become the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, counter that spell or ability unless they pay 1. Creature tokens get -1/-0.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting.
I like it for 1v1 quite a bit actually. I think it's a good weird card that you can include in a artifact build or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Kind of cool.
Yeah. Desecrated Tomb, so 3 colorless. Whenever 1 or more creature cards leave your graveyard, create a 1/1 black bat creature token with flying. What's the thing with bats in this set? It seems like there's 3 or 4 cards that are 2 at least that make bats. I don't know. Yeah, I mean it's a lot of people have been talking about it. I think it's interesting. It's yeah.
With zombies that could be going in and out and exile stuff, there's some good chances to get a bunch of bats.
Rise of the Dark Realms.
Yeah. We have Magister Scepter, 3 Japanese. It's gain a turn or something.
So you can pay 4, put a charge counter on this, and then you can remove 3 charge counters to take an extra turn.
Pretty cool.
Sorry, I should have gotten the English. There is an English copy or spoiler of this somewhere. I just forgot to get it.
Of course, it's a reprint from Mercadian Masks. So
a lot of people are surprised that this is a reprint.
Yeah.
I've been playing with it for years. I'm kind of surprised that people haven't queued into this one, especially in like proliferate decks. Like it just makes sense.
Why not? Yeah, and I'm glad they kept the art.
Yep.
Man.
I'll let you do this one.
Oh, okay. Fountain of Renewal 1 artifact. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may gain a life, so that works well with that black-white vampire dude.
Yeah.
Pay 3, sacrifice it, draw. Like, that's a good turn 1 play. Just keep it out all game.
Not bad.
Yeah, and then it's kind of steep to sack. If you think of like a Relic of Progenitus or something, if you absolutely have to, you can do it for 1. But I'd take that for a bunch of life gain.
I know this is super greedy, but I wish it tapped for mana.
Come on, Steve.
I know. Hey, I
There
do
it
have
is.
the artwork for that one. Never mind. Ha! Dragon's Horde. So, 3 colorless. Whenever a dragon enters the battlefield under your control, put a gold counter on Dragon's Horde. Then you can tap, remove a gold counter from Dragon's Horde, draw a card. Or you can tap and add 1 mana of any color.
Yeah.
This is the kind of thing I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
Like, that is a mana rock. Like, oh my gosh.
A dragon rock.
A dragon rock.
/ dragon draw.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yep. Yeah, pick up your copies now.
Yeah. Oh god, this card, Sigiled Sword of Valoron. I think I talked about this one in the solo episode. 3 equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+0 and has vigilance and is a knight in addition to other types. Whenever equipped creature attacks, create a 2/2 white knight creature token with vigilance that's attacking. Imagine this on that cat in standard.
God, don't even say
and
that.
you get like 3 bodies attacking, and one of them's like a 2/2, and others are 1/1s, and then you get the Helm of the Hosts on there, Steve. And
So this is the only Alara card that I see, like artwork wise. Like this speaks Alara to me.
Oh yeah, it's like sigil. You know,
Yeah.
think of all the sigil like rocks, pancake rocks.
Yep.
What's Rocks Warmonk and
Yep.
You know, little coins on the hilt or handguard there, that sort of thing. I think it's sweet. Oh, it looks so beautiful.
Yeah, it's. I believe this is watercolor. I would be really surprised if it wasn't. Like it looks really, really nice.
Yeah, wonderful art.
I think that's it. So we finally got through the entire list. Yeah, my throat's sore.
Thanks for sticking with us, guys.
Yes. So as always, yeah, thank you.
There's still 90 so cards to spoil.
I'm not sure if anything too crazy will be released. I mean, they seem to be just dumping rares and rares and rares, which is great. I mean, I think this is the way spoiler season should be. I honestly wish they would just put it up in one day, personally, but that kind of ruins a little bit of the...
Yeah, they need to hype it a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for a Tezzeret that's like 1 blue and then I don't know, something good.
1 blue, -1, or search for whatever.
I'm sure I'll be disappointed. Not that I don't know. I just like crazy
I wouldn't
cards.
be surprised if it doesn't show up at all, personally. But
I think you're wrong, Steve.
I agree. I agree.
Okay.
But I don't know. The question is, does the buy a box promo card count towards the mythics in the set? That's where I'm stuck on. Does it or does it not? I think you're right. I don't think it does. So I think we are missing 1 mythic.
That would suck if they imagine Origins, like all of a sudden there's like no Planeswalker for a color.
Yeah.
That would suck.
Yeah.
So
anyway, we've definitely talked about it, and we will see you guys next week for probably we'll spoil whatever cards we didn't, and then we'll talk about it and see what happens.
sounds good. Thanks,
So
guys.
see